Your health, your choice. Let me please say that again. Your health, your choice. My health, my choice. Everybody should have a right to their own choice as to how they are handling their own health care. Hi, this is Dr. David. I come with a heavy heart today in this to discuss what we are now hearing as to the findings that the Supreme Court are going to be handing down that we have seen in the draft of the statement that's been put forth by the majority that from what we are hearing will overturn Roe v. Wade in America. Now, this is not a conversation about being pro-abortion. This is about individual choice and freedom. Now, you know, because you've heard me talk multiple times, that I am a staunch libertarian when it comes to healthcare. And that's true whether it comes to reproductive rights, whether a person chooses to take an antibiotic or treat things naturally, and when it comes to vaccine rights, and whether a government should be allowed to force somebody to take a vaccine, or whether people should have a right to make that own decision for themselves. And that's where we find ourselves today. Okay. So this is a tough thing to talk about because, first of all, I absolutely respect everybody's rights and their opinions. Okay. But we have seen that if Roe v. Wade gets overturned, there will be 26 states approximately who will almost instantaneously completely ban or significantly reduce abortion. Some states have already on their books that if Roe v. Wade were to be overturned, it will happen immediately. There are other states who have in their books that it was never taken away, but it never was able to be implemented because of Roe v. Wade. Okay. Now, one can certainly have conversations about viability. When can a fetus exist outside of the womb? Current law, according to Roe v. Wade, says 23 weeks. Now, I know of babies who have survived at 21 weeks. Hard situation for families. Most of these children have significant health issues as a result of being born so extremely premature. But we're not talking about here that type of limitation. We're talking about in many states the considerations a complete ban of a woman being able to choose what they feel is in their best interest for their health, even knowing that there are states already who have put laws out there, who have passed laws, even restricting abortion in the case of abortion or incest, or even in terms of case of their own the woman's own life being in danger if they were to continue their pregnancy. And all of that could be out of the window with what is going on if the Supreme Court proceeds and moves forward on the draft and makes it into law based upon the majority decision. Okay. Um, this has been something that has been precedent, has been declared by the Supreme Court of the United States as constitutional, that a woman has a right to choose to have an abortion prior to viability. Now, the current the current statement, if it goes forth, does not serve as a complete ban on abortions in America. It tosses it back to the states. Now, with that, of course, we know that there are some states who are actually right now reinforcing their ability, their laws for a woman to choose. Well, as I mentioned before, there are others that are already taking steps and have taken steps to completely take that choice away. Now, here are some basic statistics of which it's quoted down in the comments below. 80% of Americans are in favor of a woman's right to choose in most, if not all, circumstances. Okay. I know people will, and I am completely sympathetic to people whose religious views are dictating this. I understand if a person believes that life begins at conception, why they would view this as ending a life. I know that there are other beliefs that really feel that life doesn't really exist until there is the potential to live outside the womb. Okay. And this isn't just about being pro-life. Let's face it, we kill plants every day. We kill animals every day. Okay. Life as it exists, we've already determined that people do obviously have a right to terminate something. Okay. However, again, this is about a fundamental right for a woman to decide how they treat their body and their future. Okay. What happens in situations when a condom breaks? What happens in situations when the pill fails, where a woman could take every single action possible to prevent themselves from getting pregnant, but we know it still happens anyway? So, where is their choice? Where is their choice in that matter? Abortion, and again, this is not a pro abortion comment, okay? Nobody has an abortion just because, hey, let's just, nothing else to do today. I know I'm pregnant. Let's just go get an abortion free, nilly willy type of thought. These are some of the most difficult decisions that women and families have to make. The potential of a life, of having a child, and what will they do without it? Okay, should a woman be forced to carry it to term just so that they can put it up for adoption? Well, we know that in America that there's actually morbidity associated with just giving birth itself, and we know that's significantly higher in underserved and poorer communities. What about the emotional trauma of a woman who feels this is not the point of their life to have a child, but yet having to actually go through the delivery process and then put it up for adoption and have that level of lost feeling, even though they feel they can't help it, and even if they feel that that may be the best interest for that child. That's an emotionally scarring thing for people. Okay. Now, even on the religious front, and I know people claim religion, but you know what? 11% of atheists are anti-abortion. 56% of Catholics who typically biblically hold the strongest views about life are in favor of a woman having right to choose. So this doesn't just simply fall under religious lines. This falls under this situation where a minority of the people feel that they have the right to impose their rights on other people. And that's where I have a challenge with. A person should have a right to choose. You have a right to choose whether you get vaccinated, how you educate your child, how you feed your child, how you feed yourself. Am I going to exercise or not? This is a right the decisions that I make. And of course, as I've shared, how I choose to treat my body. Shouldn't everybody have a right to treat their body in that similar way? Okay. Um, why is a medical decision not being left in the hands of a medical provider and the patient? We do that everywhere else. Informed consent. That's what we do. Now, what impact is this going to have on women, especially those in underserved populations like I talked about? Are we going to see a return of the days of back alley abortions in unclean situations, women taking matters into their own hands, hangers, etc.? Are we going to see women end up being hospitalized, dying, like what was being seen prior to when abortion was considered to be legal and a right of Americans? What impact is that going to have on people? We have said, keep your hands off of my body. That was such a rallying cry, which I supported for people with vaccines. Are we being hypocritical? Are people being hypocritical if not allowing that choice to exist on all levels? Thank you for listening. I realize that there will be people who will strongly disagree with me. I encourage you to put healthy, helpful comments in the section. Perhaps you can educate me as to where my thinking is wrong. But I staunchly believe in a person's right to choose and to choose their own path towards life and liberty. Have a nice day.